Do you remember back in December when the animated series Secret Level featured a radical reimagining of Pac-Man in their episode Circle? We talked about it here on the channel when it released, and there was a lot of discussion in the comments both for and against this treatment of the character. Well, the new action-adventure game upon which that short was based will be here in a few weeks. I want to talk about what we can learn from two new trailers just released right after this.
This video brought to you in part by Tommy and the Order of Cosmic Champions. This exciting and heartwarming coming-of-age Gen X novel is available now. Check the link for more info.
Hey there, welcome back to Gen X Grown Up. I'm John and I am a Gen X Grown Up. Thank you so much for taking the time to click on this video. There's plenty to see and talk about in these new trailers for Shadow Labyrinth. But first I want to set one thing straight. I saw plenty of viewers upset that the producers of Secret Level took far too many liberties with the depiction of Pac-Man in Circle, and that Bandai Namco should never have allowed it. When in reality, this new game from Bandai Namco was already well into production, and they urged the animators to adopt this style and tone for the short, not the other way around. Now, I don't know if the knowledge that Bandai Namco, the owners of Pac-Man, were the originators of this dark new Pac-Man universe, whether that'll change anyone's mind, but I think it's an important distinction to make. Now, I'm not going to repeat here what we discussed about Circle, though you can click on the link up here if you want to see the original video and get caught up. What I want to focus on is Shadow Labyrinth, the game that got this ball rolling in the first place. Now, like Circle, Shadow Labyrinth takes on that same dark, visceral, gritty tone and recasts Pac-Man as a mysterious, omnivorous floating orb who seems to be able to inhabit your host to magnify his own power. It's a far cry from the colorful, cartoony world of Pac-Man we've known up until now, but one I'm eager to explore. Let's start by walking through this release date announcement trailer that has given us our best look so far at what we can expect.
Okay, I'm going to probably pause a lot and resume and pause and resume a lot. I'll put links to both of these trailers down in the description if you want to watch them uninterrupted, but there's some stuff that I find very interesting, so we're going to step through. So here we go.
Wake up.
Very much like Circle, you know, you wake up this...
You have been chosen.
Ooh, I'm a swordsman.
And we have work to do, number 8.
Okay, just some artwork, Shadow Labyrinth, yeah. There's the Pac-Man in the O, who's, if you've seen you'll see later when the logo animates, the Pac-Man eats through that O. Reinforcing the omnivore for him. All right, now, this is from all I can tell, it looks to be a lot of stuff evidence in here, and I think I might have read somewhere, it's a metroidvania. My favorite type of game where you explore the world, there are areas you can't get, and as you gain abilities, you come back to those areas and expand, and enemies that were tough before become scrubs as you advance and become more powerful. But even though you appear to be this little figure, this cloaked figure, this swordsman, the Pac-Man that I think they call Puck in here quite often, or they refer to it, is always with you, and sometimes you get to take control of them, maybe. You'll see what I mean. Okay, hold on. Yeah, right here. So I had heard about this UGSF, I think it's United Galactic Space Force, that is this military branch or something that kind of weaves its way through a lot of Bandai Namco games. And if you look on this flag, and even above this door, that's a Bosconian enemy ship. And they even reference Bosconian in here. And I've seen references to Dig Dug, like a Fygar and a Puka or something. This is not just Pac-Man. Like, this world is like the Bandai Namco universe. You're going to see all kinds of stuff in here. I don't know if it's just Easter eggs or if it's tightly woven, but I mean, that's a Bosconian ship. Look, it opens up, you shoot them. You know how it works, yeah. Okay, here's some, look, we've seen this in like Ori, Wind of the Wisps, or whatever it's called, the Blind Forest. This kind of open world exploration with abilities. So lots of platforming and navigation, what I would expect in a Metroidvania. Looks like, all right, picked up some bonuses. Whoa, okay. So here, like, where is the swordsman? Where is your hero? Well, now, there are levels like this where just Pac-Man is eating his way around. Now, what remains to be seen is this a side mission for Puck or Pac-Man, or is this you driving him? Because it seems to be he's in control. I don't know. But, I mean, by the way, the environment's gorgeous. It's not like over-the-top gorgeous, like the greatest thing I've ever seen, but It's not like a simplistic pixel art, right? It's like I see bubbling lava down here, the ice crystals and stuff. I like it. Oh, you're Bosconian, aren't you? See, look at that. And now you'll notice on the hero, I'll call your character the hero, on his arm there appears to be like this big gauntlet, like the thing from Fantastic Four arm on him or something, or a what's his name, a Hellboy arm, this big like, I don't know, maybe metallic or something. So there's clearly storyline and canon being established here. Perhaps a survivor, so it looks like maybe facing off against an enemy here. Yeah, Operation Ragnarok. I looked that up and I can't find a reference to it in Bandai Namco. I found the reference to it like in Mega Man lore, but that doesn't count. So anyway, let's keep going. Okay, here now. So it's more than just this one Pac-Man character. So clearly you see your hero over there with that hand, and there's Puck over there. And here's like this mech being created and forged out of the ground. Watch how this mech appears. Whoa! Okay, the mech is gone, but maybe we'll come back to it. So see some boss fights going on. Yep. So here's where they call out, look, hey, so you're fighting with the swordsman and your Puck, and sometimes that's not enough. And then there's like this transformation. Watch this.
Sometimes a swordsman needs more than a sword.
Whoa! This is straight out of Circle, where the Puck went into the back of the hero and then becomes this big bloody tendril thing. And it looks like it's going to eat this little robo mech, and we're going to become it. So more power up stuff. Look at this big mech thing, and right back into that same battle that we just saw you losing in a second ago, but with this like mech suit, Pac-Mech suit. Probably not what it's called. Yeah, it's in a Metroidvania action adventure. Look, you want bosses, you want mini bosses, you want adventure, you want upgrades. So it appears to have it. It's not Pac-Man though, is it? It's so far removed from what we'd expect from Pac-Man, other than eating things. Some more
Don't just
battle.
defeat enemies.
Don't just defeat them.
Consume.
Oh, Waka. Okay. So as he's eating things, look down here, infested bone fragment. This very next scene I'm going to pause on, it's right after this. Here is where the skill tree and advancement comes in. Check this out. Whoa! Look at the scroll bar on that. These are all upgrades that you can purchase with Aura, O-R-A. It looks like the kind of the mana points or the skill points. And it's upgraded abilities. Air attack, damage resistance, limit boost, item boost. This is more than just a typical Metroidvania. It's almost like a minor RPG Metroidvania where you're gathering lots and lots of different abilities through things you upgrade rather than just finding it here and there. It looks like as you accrue this energy, you can upgrade, if it's upgrading you or upgrading the Puck or whatever, but your ability, to do things. So. Some more combat. No, there's an example of, I rewound it just a second. There's an example of the kind of thing like you probably wouldn't have early on, this ground pound thing to bust through caverns, and then probably it's an upgrade you get. So it's that kind of like re-exploration. Escape the maze. It's still, it's pseudo Pac-Man, and then it's this this guy in armor. It's this weird world.
True purpose.
By true
Become
purpose.
the apex predator.
There we go. Now you see the Pac-Man 8 through the O there. That's July 18th. It's not that far away, and I have more questions than I have answers, but they're throwing a lot at it.
Yeah. Now there's one more trailer I want to look at that sheds even more light. Before I do, I'm going to quickly remind you of our store over at GenXGrownUp.com/merch, where you can get plenty of original designs by GenXGrownUp or designs from hundreds of other artists and get those printed on hats and mugs and t-shirts and pins and stickers and all sorts of stuff. Look, there's probably something you're interested in, whether it's pop culture or sports or games or TV or movies or whatever. Keep us in mind the next time you're looking for something for yourself or maybe a gift for someone else. It not only gets you that item, item, but helps support independent content creation like you see here on GenXGrownUp. Okay, let's move on to this other trailer. There's a bit more of the game to see, but maybe even more telling here is how invested Bandai Namco is in this new game. This is the pre-order trailer that outlines all the different editions that are available to order, including physical editions with some pretty cool extras.
Now we'll see a little more gameplay in this, but what I'm really highlighting in looking at this trailer is just how many options you have to buy this game other than just download it off of digital. They're really, really going hard on this. Check this out. All right. I wanted to pause for a moment. I think we've all seen the 45th anniversary Pac-Man logo by now. But for this game, for Shadow Labyrinth, look at this. What? That's a sticker I want. I mean, it's the antithesis of Pac-Man, the friendly, cartoony, the logo you just saw, and this, there's something about a dark side of something that's so colorful, that, you know, that juxtaposition, really cool. All right, let's move on. Team up with Puck. Remember I said he's called Puck. Yeah, similar gameplay. We've seen a lot of this. 3 editions. 3 editions. Await. Discovery await. Okay, so obviously the digital, right? So you can download it. Deluxe Digital Edition has the base game, digital art book, digital soundtrack. Isn't a digital art book JPEGs? Digital art book or a PDF? That's weird. Digital soundtrack, fine. You're gonna put that in your library. Digital art book is kind of a stretch. Okay, this is nothing physical. All right, let's keep going. It gets better, I promise. An original sound effects. Can you imagine the super dark world that we're looking at in this game and the little waka 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 the bloop noises going on when he eats stuff? I can. I'd do it. So that's one. That's the digital. More of the stuff we've seen. There's that big mech fighting some enemies. Ooh. Okay, now we get to physical. Check this out. All right, yeah, you get the physical game. Plus you get this poster. Look at this, with UV effects on it. I saw a Dig Dug logo, Bosconian Pac-Man, and an enamel pin set. Oh, and look, we get level 8, looks like a upgrade. Can't tell what the one on the left is, but then you have a Pac-Man, like the Puck Pac-Man, and then the grimy, tendril, visceral Pac-Man. Metal pin set, okay. And a booklet, some stickers, glow in the dark, and that has the UV effects too. All right, so all that comes, along with what was in the digital bonuses, right? So the digital art book, the JPEGs, will come in that one. But they also have, I haven't even looked at these prices yet, so I'm gonna guess the game is probably 30 bucks. I promise I haven't looked. The game's probably 30 bucks. The deluxe is probably 40. Physical deluxe is, I don't know, 60 and then 80? I'm guessing? I don't know. I hope it's not over 80. We'll see. Anyway, this is the middle of the road. Let's move on to the next one. Everything we got before. Collector's edition, giant box, all that stuff. The UV effects. There's the art book. They call it a journal. More UV effects on there. Plus all the things we got in all the other editions put together. This is a huge release. This is like a big first-person shooter, like a Call of Duty kind of like celebration for a reimagining of Pac-Man. I love that Bandai Namco clearly believes in what they're doing here, and they're starting to convince me. I mean, I wasn't like against it, but I love the, I don't know. I'm excited about it. There's that boss battle. I think a lot of this we've seen already. Just some new longer shots of the same thing. There's that big mech. And the boss fight. Oh, more eating enemies. Waka waka. Oh man. That imagery is... it's a little haunting. I think I kind of like it. While supplies last, and it's all coming out July 18th.
Okay, so from all of that, it seems pretty evident that Bandai Namco is heavily invested in Shadow Labyrinth, and they're going all in on this reimagined Pac world. Admittedly, it's a radical departure from what fans of the franchise have come to expect. I'm excited for Shadow Labyrinth, partially for the gameplay and mechanics, but probably even more so to explore the new Pac-Man canon that's being established and better understand this altered universe that we got our first glimpse of in that Circle short some months back. What about you? How do you feel about this new Pac-Man direction? Are you instantly in, or instantly out, or playing the wait and see game? Please sound off down in the comments and let's talk about it. Just a couple more months until we can fire up the game for ourselves, but meanwhile, links to more pack coverage here and here. I certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this video. I can't wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.